the moment that we realize that our power lies in the fact that we have the ability to choose, the sooner that we can get kind of the most out of life. And this is something that like I have really been tapping into lately, especially in this past week, but also just that I've found I've kind of put into practice over my life. But it's the fact that we have the choice, like we can choose. So for instance, there are things that you will go through in life. There are things that you have already been through in life. And, these events can kind of like rattle you. They can actually just like ruin you sometimes. But when I kind of realized within myself that I have the power to make a choice, that I have the power to choose whether I'm going to let a certain event or something that's happened to me make me either better or bitter, or if I'm going to choose to walk in a path that's different. I hope you guys are getting what I'm trying to lay down, and I hope my oven isn't too loud. I'm going to put some sweet potatoes on. But I think like for me, I realized sometimes like to do that like bad thing, like so like say to be bitter, right? That's so easy. Do you know what I mean? Like it's so easy to just let everything kind of stack up on your heart and just be like, you know what, if everybody, if life, like I'm gonna do what I want, I'm gonna, treat people the way people treat me, like it can really just, you can just really get to the end of your rope. And there was a point where I just got to that point where I was just like, you know what, I'm done trying to like be a good person. I'm done trying to, just like give life to people and like value people. I was getting to the end of my rope, to be honest. But then like something in me just kind of switched, and I just always have to remember like that's easy. Do you know what I mean? But like it's harder to be a good person. It's harder to be the bigger person. It's harder to forgive, but it's like, but that's the best path forward, and within my life, like there's been so many, like just too many to count, events in my life where I've literally chosen to just take the hard path and be like, this has happened to me, it sucks. People have like humiliated me, people have like hurt me, people have lied on me, and like I've had to suffer things that I've never done, but I just had to resolve within myself that I have the choice, you know what I mean? And I choose to live my life and to be different. You know what I'm saying? In a world where like it just seems where everyone is more selfish and everyone cares more about themselves and what they can get and what they can get out of people. I just want to live a life where I can just be me and be opposite, and like just continue to walk with my heart on my sleeve. And yes, being, smart, boundaries, all that stuff, but just not letting bad situations and bad people and things kind of ruin the way I want to walk out in life. And I hope this is making sense. But it's like when you understand that you have the choice, that you have the power to choose, you realize the power is in your hands, and that you can choose what sort of life that you want to walk and what sort of life that you want to lead. And and I think with me, it's like I've forgiven a lot of people, and I've just resolved in myself that I don't owe anything to those people. I've forgiven them. If they need anything from me, sure, I'm here. But like even then, it's like I'm moving on, because I'm not gonna let those sort of things stop me from being the kindness and the goodness that someone else might need. Like why should these people over here miss out on the goodness that you could be because one person or multiple people over here have tried to crush that light? You know what I mean? I don't know if this is making any sense, but you guys have power. Like we have power, and our power is in our choice. We can choose to be like, hey, what sort of life do I want to walk? What sort of life do I want to lead? And no matter what happens in life, you can choose to take any path that you want to take. And for me, it's just like resolving, like, no, this is the path I want to take. I I want to continue to be a good person. I just because I've got cheated out, this and that, this, I don't care. Like, I've had people screw me over. I've had people cheated me out of things. I've had people do things like lie on my name, and I've lost things because people have lied against me. Like, I've had people hurt me literally. I've been humiliated in front of people, like publicly humiliated by people. Like, I've been like, there's so much. But even through all of that, it's just like, I'm not going to return like what they did to me. It's like, I'm just going to continue to be a good person and continue to try my best to lead a life that is above reproach. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to stoop down to that. So we have the ability to choose. And it's something that I've really been thinking about, because there's been moments throughout this week where it's just like I wake up in the middle of the night or wake up in the morning and I'm just like plagued with like past memories and things that people have done that have really hurt me, and I can feel that thing inside me, like, you know what, F this, F everybody, like I'm just like, I just get so done with the world, but then there's that other part of me that's like, you know what, no, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that. I want to be me, and I want to be a light. You know what I'm saying? Where everyone thinks it's darkness and everyone thinks like, oh, there's no good people left and blah, blah, blah. Like, I want to be a light, So we have the power to choose. This is probably another long video. I like to keep these like to 5 minutes. Yes, last week's one I think went for like 7 minutes. It's fine. It is what it is. But yeah, I love you guys. You guys have the power to choose. Like, the power is in your hands. And I don't know what you guys have been through. I couldn't fathom or imagine what you've been through. It's your life. It's you. You felt it. You were there. But one thing I could say is that we can choose, and it's like choosing day by day. It's like every day making that decision to choose. And some days I don't choose. I'm like, I just want to lie in bed and not do anything. I don't even want to choose. I just want to be neutral. Like, I don't even know. But like, we have power because we can choose. We can make a decision about what sort of life that we want to lead and what sort of person that we want to be, regardless of what happens to us. So that's just something that's been on my heart this week. You guys know the drill. Let's chat. It's about whatever I have on my heart. I'm not gonna like put down topics like for like planned topics and then say them every week. And that's nothing bad with that. I want this to be raw. I want it to be like whatever it is that comes up on my week. So I love you guys. Have a beautiful week. Enjoy this weekend, and yeah, I'll see you guys next week. But thank you for tuning in, and thank you for always, if you do listen all the way to the end, even though they're not that long, but I know how attention spans be. I'm grateful. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.